everybody, and welcome to the Touring Car Sim Racing League from, where are we? Well, that's today, from BILSTERBERG, from whatever that is. It's the wood track with the chicane. It is the Touring Car Sim Racing League. We've got about 8 minutes left in the practice session. We've got 15 drivers in tonight, which is about what I'm expecting, to be perfectly honest. We've had a couple of dropouts from the season, and unfortunately some people are working away this week. We were going to get 17, but Ben E. Norton, which is Poddy Flack's teammate, who's currently somewhere in the queue, 6th fastest, unfortunately has had the dreaded error 503, so he's not racing at the moment. Trying to help him out as it stands, and Luke Dugdale, which the trophy is Stu's going into the pits, and Luke Dugdale unfortunately has had his computer, he's had to go and pick up his better half. But there you go, that's how it is. I'm your commentator, that's me, Andy Pawley. I'm here for the entirety of the event up until about 20 past 10 this evening. If you're wondering when the first race will be, the first race just kicks off at about 20 past the hour. So you've got plenty of time to get yourself that kebab order. Right, let's get down to business. Is it this one or that one? No, that's an old one. It's that one. That's where we are, BILSTERBERG. We're at the halfway point, past halfway point of the season. The Zaichang racetrack, we're not doing on the 22nd of February. That's actually moved out a week. So we are having a break next week. In terms of the Drivers' Championship, George is still leading by Mark and by Neil. George has only got 140 points, Mark is 130, and Neil is 128. Ashbourne, race winner. So top 4 all race winner. All race winners super close to each other. T-Joke is in 5th, 40 kilograms on board. Butcher is in 6th, one-time race winner this season, 30 kilograms. Trebek, 7th in the championship, 20 kilograms on board. But Trebek is leading the Dugdale Trophy. He's not won a race, he's really struggled. I found out in terms of carrying the ballast on board, but again, that's part of the game. It's all ballast. Benny Norton's in 8th, but he's just going to go down the order if he can't get his computer fixed. Then we've got Elliot, who's no longer in the championship. He's officially retired. Wilson, that's Jake Wilson, not Justin Wilson. Race winner, don't forget, last time out, 99. Papa Dim's not racing, so that's another one not racing tonight, is Papa Dim. Flack is 12th, Deeks is 13th, Crave is 14th. He's still racing, but he's in and out. At the moment, Grassy has officially retired from the championship, so he will finish on 33. Lawson's hoping for his first race win because he has actually fixed his internet. There's Campion, Bill 17th, just got his bus pass. So he gets free bus travel wherever he lives. So yeah, there you go, fun fact for you. Martin Kirby, he's back. Luke Dugdale is in 19th. Justin Wellbeloved isn't racing. He's out for the next 2 to 3 weeks, so I don't think he'll really move on from that. Derek Neal should now mug him in the championship standings. Kurikan's not started. Alex missed. Kane Alexander was back first time last week, but again, he's in that little car. He's in the run of the gap, a little bit, and Stevie Godhog has not finished, not raced. In terms of the team's championship, there you go, Hardley, Norfolk and Off Target Racing all close together. George to use the racing, which is George and Lawson are getting closer and closer, and then you've got Nero, Crazy and everyone else down towards the bottom. In terms of the team's championship, Team Hardley is winning by a margin, 249 points to the Norfolk Races 191. Off Target Races are moving up. That's the 2 of Butcher and Deeks in the Hyundais, and they're closely followed by Deucer Racing, which is Lawson and the person I forgot. Lawson and George, because the team name's after him. There we go. Nero and K develop the solo teams. There's Crazy Driver and Crazy Driver. That is our T-Joke, who's down in 11th position at the moment. And in terms of the Dugdale Trophy, Trebek's leading that by quite a way, 128. It's 20 points for a victory, don't forget. But if you get a victory, you're then out of the championship. Norton's going to struggle if he can't get himself back into the, basically into the racing again. Flack's down in 25th place, Flack at the moment. Poddy's not actually in. Poddy was the one who dropped out and in, so he might come back. Hopefully he comes back. I think he might have done something. 85. Papadim, he's going to really go down the order. Deeks, Crave, Grassy's not racing. Campion's moved up 2 places. Biggest shaker in the league is Dugdale up 6, but he's not racing, so he's going to go down a bunch of points. Kirby's up 1. Lawson, Neil, don't expect Lawson to be there. Then you've got well-beloved Alexander and Holt in the reader. That is where it is. 2 minutes 47 remaining of the practice session, and then we go into the qualifying session. It's a 10-minute qualifying session that will determine the positions for race 1. Let's actually pick on someone. Let's click auto direct. That will determine the positions for race 1. The positions from race 1 will determine the positions for the finishing positions of race 1 will determine the position of race 2. Between race 1 and 2, we have a little wheel that goes round and it determines the positions. So with only 14 drivers in tonight, you could find that Derek or Bill will be at the front of the queue. They will be the highest placed drivers. That's how it is sometimes, or it will be from 8th. So 1st to 8th will be reversed. Anywhere from 8th to the back of the, well, at the moment, the back of the grid is 15th, will go into a draw, and that will determine where the grid is positioned. But yeah, that's where it currently stands. And then race 3, which is obviously that reverse grid. All races are 15 minutes. All have 2 times tyre wear on this, which makes it very, very difficult. Ballast is a big factor. This track, as we actually watch, we're actually with Derek and Neil now. Let's ride on board with Neil as we go down here. This is the blind crest. Come on over the top of the hill. We'll ride on board through the right-hand side here, over the top of the crest. Then it goes a little bit right again there. Then it goes left. You have the sharp left, then right, then left over a crest of the hill. So it's right into 2 left, down, and then we keep going down straight into. Going and going and going over one bump, then you go over another bump, you turn left, then you turn right immediately, and then you turn left immediately, and this is the penultimate corner. It's a very small tricky track. Some have basically said it's a bit like Cadwell Park. Now Neil is only 9 hundredths of a second off Lawson on a 146.781. I know Lawson can do 145s. So Lawson has the ability to do 145, so could Benny Norton. So it's a real shame that he's not in, because I really think he could have provided a larger challenge to Lawson tonight. But you know, you have to be in it to win it, and if you're not in it, you're not winning it. So it is what it is. Butcher's in 10th, great defence. He's done 2 weeks in a row on race 3. But tonight, he's going to struggle again. He doesn't like this Hyundai. This track is not a Hyundai-centric track. It's not designed for this car. This car has a mighty top end. It's not very good in the slow speed corner, so he's going to struggle. There you go, off target racing. We've done some updates to the graphics in terms of what we've got. So no longer top right. Do you have that? This is the qualifying session, 9 minutes 58 to go. We will keep it on auto direct for now. We'll see who will be the first to go. Tyre choices is hard compound. We'll keep with Phil Lawson through his first lap. So there we go. Penultimate as it comes up through the left-hander here. Tyre compound is hard. Doesn't really change to go in the pits, but it's not going to do anything. Let's ride on board now with Lawson. Let's bring up the so you can see the vehicle info here. This is riding on board through the right-hander. It's a 90 right to a 90 to a basically a 45 left to a 90 right to a 90 left. There are lots of sharp corners. Right-hand side here, left-hand. You can do 14, 15, 16 seconds as he keeps going into 4th. Then it's a right-hand again, immediately down to 2nd. They're very busy during this lap. Through the left we go. Then it's another right. No real overtaking opportunities. Needs to keep the car straight, keep his floor planted. Then back down from 3rd. Holds it nice and neatly. Then it's right again, little crest. And then we go into the left crest into 2nd. This is a long left crest, off camber, downhill before we bottom it out. And then we climb back up, a little bump there. through the right-hander we go. This is blind, don't forget, into fourth, full commitment. He's gone for this. He will be purple because he's the first driver in the sector. Then left, then right, holding it nice and tight. Ooh, nearly rolls it. He's lost it. He's lost it. That's the problem you'll have. Those sausage curbs, that's it. That lap is scrubbed. So he's really going to struggle now. He's really going to have some problems in trying to do anything from there. Yeah, we've got no poddy. There's no poddy, so he's going to have to rejoin. George is currently going fast. It's 33.262. Second sector, he's up to 109.640. He should go. This will be penultimate pole. Not penultimate pole, provisional pole. Because he's going to be the first driver coming through that sector. As he crosses crosses the line, this should be fastest because he'll be the first driver, and they're 146.935. It's not going to be good enough. Craig Deek has gone through that sector, 1.13 seconds slower. That's Stu Neal in the 99, half a second up. But don't forget, Stu Neal is only carrying 60 kilograms on board. And a track like this, weight makes a difference. Butcher's gone 2/10 faster, slower than George. Neal will go faster, as he's going to go faster by 0.3 of a second. 146, I don't think that's going to be good enough. Trebek is, well, it says his best in purple. He's green in sector 2, 100.9468, but he would be predominantly because he's not gone in that sector before, so he's going to be green in all sectors. Let's actually stick with Trebek, see what he can do through there. He's going to go through the penultimate corner, and then it comes dipped down to the bottom of the hill. And what does he do? He's 142.45. He should cross about a 146.9. 146.8 into second he goes. Again, I don't think it's going to be the fastest lap. Where's Phil Wilson? Phil Wilson's kind of in the middle there. He's up to 10th position. He should be going purple unless his lap's invalidated. I think his lap's invalidated, which is why it's not coming up on the board. But he needs to put a lap in because the pressure's really on. No, he's done it again. That's going to put him wide, and that's going to compromise his lap time. So he's reset. He hasn't put a lap in yet. Deeks is going green in both sector 1 and 2. He's 1.5 seconds off the current fastest time in that sector, 110.585. That would put us down into a 109. Wants to cross now. I don't think he's going to improve. Does a 140. No, he does not improve. This is Stu Neal. Is he going faster? No, I think his lap's invalidated. No, he does. So he's got 1/10 of a second faster in sector 1, 32.908. What can he do from here as he climb up over the top of the hill? Let's ride on board with him. Through the right side we go. Blind pressed. As I said before, then it's a left-hander. He's lost the rear end, the ballast will be affecting it. Then it's the right. These are the sausage curbs that can roll the car. And he's done it! Riding on board, smash, whang, wallop! Off he goes, he's on all four wheels. And that's what I was talking about. One bad move. And it's game over. As we quickly go to the replay, did we catch it? As we ride on board, there is the replay. I need to sort these box sizes out, to be honest. As we ride on board with him now, he's going through the left-hand side. And if you watch, this is how bad the sausage curbs are. He gets it a bit wrong on the entry of that. He holds it, wides it round, and off he goes. Slides it, bing, bang, bong, wallop. Off he goes. And that's the problem. Derek's gone into 11th. Lawson still hasn't set a lap. Lawson's on a lap. There you go, 4/10, only 0.04 of a second faster through sector 2 with 109 flat. It's really not going to push him from that section. We've lost another driver. I'm not sure who that is, or the computer's having a massive wobbly. So as it currently stands, yeah, it's really struggling for people. In terms of what we've got now. Just my timing sheets have gone completely south for the winter. Can he do it? Can he push the line? What does he do? He should go faster. Yeah, 0.4 of a second. There's only 13 in there now, so we are dropping a number of drivers. Who have we dropped? We'll put it on auto direct. So Martin Kirby, this is the thing. Kirby and Campion and Neal are going to get an absolute haul of points. Ashbourne crosses the line and he goes 5th fastest. This is Bill Campion. This is Jake Wilson, sorry. Currently in 8th position. He's outbraked himself. So yeah, they're all struggling. Tyre wear is going to be a problem. That's Stu Neal. What's he doing? He's wide. He needs to get a better lap. I don't think he's going to do it. Where's Shaw? Shaw is down in 4th place. Trebek's in 3rd. So at the moment he's on the last of the podium places. This is Phil Lawson, currently fastest, and he's done a 1:46.189. Yeah, that's what I was expecting. Poddy's game keeps crashing, so that's why we've lost a couple of drivers. We've got some issues with the game. Unfortunately, I can't help in terms of the issues that we've got. I'm going to see if I can go and help quickly. I will be here for the race, and just please keep an eye. I'll leave on auto direct for you. go through the right side into turn 1. Does everybody get through? Yes, 3, 4, 5, 6. They've all managed to file themselves into a fantastic queue. Campion and the Kirby are all nose to tail in the background. Jake Wilson's had a slowdown penalty already for track limit abuse at the back. The two teammates side by side, door by door, going through the left-hander. Can they hold on to it? Can they do anything from here? I don't think they can. They're just going to have to make sure they pick people off. Now Butcher and Wilson riding from the rear wing of Butcher. He's in 8th position, right behind him in the 68. That is Wilson. Behind that is Campion. And as you can see, Campion has made a little bit of a mistake there, riding over the curbs. Through the left-hander they go. Right behind Campion is Deeks. George is now holding up Markham and Tijo as we flip to that battle. So this is 5th position. In 5th position, riding on board with him now. This is George. Behind that is Aaron Markham. The 96 behind that is Tijo. There's Tijo. He's the only larder in the field at the moment. It's not a track for him. He's really struggling in terms of that car. Phil Lawson, slow down penalty. Track limit abuse. He's half a second ahead. Boom, there it is. As we go through into the right side, they're all getting slow down penalties. They're going to have to be really, really careful. They're turning the screw in this early phase. 13 minutes to go of the opening of race 1. It's going to be very, very tricky. Up over the shade, you can see them through the left, right-hander we go. Riding on board now with Tijo. You can see 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and we're 7th. Down into the penultimate corner as they come down. Cars are nose to tail, but Butcher once again has the fast-moving Jake Wilson all over his rear end. Campion is side by side with Craig Deeks. Craig Deeks got that done move. He says thank you very much, ticks that box. Through the right side he goes. Fantastic. Bill Campion in that number 11 Lincoln Co. Fantastic looking car, fantastic looking livery. Right behind him now is Kirby at the front. This is the battle for the lead. I am watching the battle unfold. Butcher's holding off Wilson and Butcher side by side. Oh, he's got that job done. He's made a mistake there somewhere, has he? Oh, he's run wide. Yeah, he's made a mistake going through that section. So Wilson has taken the position from Butcher. He's up 1, down 1, and they're all kind of holding station. Lawson's out front by 1.37 seconds at the moment. Ashbourne is right behind him, but the tyre wear hasn't quite gone into effect yet. This is Butcher riding on board. This is the blind crest. Over the top of the hill we go through the right hand. Oh, he nearly rolls it. He nearly rolls it. Then we go into this 90, this long left-hander before the right-left curb. This is the right-left section that can roll the car, bouncing all over the wheels. Whoa, Butcher's lost it. He lost the rear end. He's the second car in your picture, that number 26 Hyundai. He's holding on to it. His teammate now, Craig Deeks, is right behind. Does he look to do anything? There's Craig Deeks. Hyundai. Equal machinery. Two different people. Two different driving styles. He's got it done. He's going up the inside. I think Butcher let him pass. That was an old switcheroo. Trebek now is being caught by Shaw's. So there's Trebek. He is in the car in front of the one that we're watching, which is the 79. There is 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th. They've broken away into their own little group at the moment. There's Shaw's riding on board with him now, riding onto that front view camera. That is just ahead of his 4th position, and you can see here he's slowly but surely gaining and gaining and gaining and gaining, but the track is so tricky. You can't just stove it past. You can't just get into that section. He's looking from the rear camera now of Trebek. This is Trebek. He was 4th. He started 4th, and he's still 4th at the moment. All the drivers are holding station. Sensational camera view that. Duds kicking up. They're all kind of holding station. It's a really tricky track to pass. They're all going to have to wait for those overtaking opportunities. Craig Deeks, slow down penalty. Lawson's now 1.2 seconds ahead of Neil. But I think Neil, don't forget, Lawson has no ballast on board. Neil has 60 kilograms on board. Aaron Markham's down in 6th place. Kane Alexander at the back, and Neil, two teammates. We're watching Trebek. George is on the hunt. He's in 5th position. Behind that, boom, there's Markham. Riding on board now with Markham. He's the back of the queue. So the field is slowly but surely starting to gap themselves out. But the problem is one mistake. Tyre wear will start to come in with 5 minutes to go. As he goes through, this is the right-left into the penultimate corner. enormous, fantastic looking car that. As he goes down now, little crest down the tip of the hill, slow down penalties all over the place. This is the battle for 5th position, don't forget. In 5th position is championship leader, Boom riding on board with him now. There is 6th position, 96. This is 1st and 2nd in the championship, don't forget. 140 points versus 130 points. 3rd in the championship, Stu Neal is currently 2nd, 128 points, don't forget. 3 race winners, none of them are doubles, funny enough, so they're not going to, looks like none of them are going to get another win tonight, but they're all holding station. As we look at it, Crane Alexander is the first DNF of the evening. I thought that would be the case. It's a tricky track. One mistake, one poor judgment, boom, you're gone. But that's how it is. Martin Kirby at the back. Now he's making inroads into Bill Campion. He's looking at the lap delta times. He's got it down to within a second now. There is no DRS, 0.9 second. He's lost 1 place and Campion has gained 1 place. There is Campion. He's in the number 11 Lincoln coat. Just ahead of your cue, riding on from the rear view camera now. There he is, Rusty Spanner Racing. Right behind that, there's Kirby in the Seat in the 55. Look how busy they've got to be, left and right, left and right. These two have been nose to tail. They're battling each other in the championship. Don't forget, oh, Kirby's thinking of it there. He's going to go up the inside. Has he forced it wide? Does he manage to do it? Yes, he has. This is so dangerous. Over the blind crest of the hill. Kirby just thinking better of it then. He's thinking, I can't do that. If I do that, it's going to be game over. He backs off. Kirby holds 12th position. There he is in the number 55. Through the right, left we go. Down the crest of the hill now. Holding it on. Martin Kirby, slow down penalty. Derek Neal in the background, 3.65 seconds. He's holding on to his station, but he's not really making any progress from that position. We've flipped to the battle for. This is the last of the podium play. Neal's going back, and he's going back fast. So Neal is in the 99. There is our race leader, 53. Then there's the Seat, and look, there is Trebek. Started 4th, in 4th. Don't forget, he is leading on 128 points. The Dugdale Trophy. The 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, both race winners. 1st and 4th, not race winners. But Lawson's on track now with 7 minutes, 31 seconds to go to take a race victory. There he is in the front of your picture, Martin Kirby, another slowdown penalty. But look now, look at Trebek. He's joining the back of this party. We're riding on board with him. Jake Wilson now is side by side with T-Joke. T-Joke is going to go up the inside. Jake Wilson's up 2 positions. Has he got the job done? Yes, he has. Sensational move. Bounces over the curves. Jake Wilson starting to come alive in that car. He's kind of just holding station. I think it was a mistake from T-Joke, but it is what it is. He was so fast that he took the position that we didn't have a chance to actually have a look at it. So it'll be interesting to see from Jake post-race how he got past T-Joke. But we rejoin the battle for this, basically the second, the bridesmaid positions of the evening. They're bouncing all over the curbs. Trebek is closing the door in that number 34. Trebek, don't forget, has ballast, but not enough. They are in ballasted positions except the man at the front. There he is. As you can see here, Trebek riding on board with him now. He's closed that gap right down. Bill Campion, slow down penalty. That will put Martin Kirby. That's 11th and 12th. Those two swapped positions. We will keep an eye on that through the racing. But this is the battle for 2nd, 3rd and 4th. And as you can see, riding from the rear camera, look how close. Stu Neal, not Stu Neal, it's the 28. The 28 is Simon Ashbourne. That is Ashbourne. Look how close he is. He's right on the rear end now. T-Joke and Wilson are swapping positions and trying to keep an eye on everything. We'll leave that as it is for the minute. Sorry, Jake. That has fizzled out. They're side by side going into turn 1. This is a right-hander. Jake's got 2 wheels on the grass. He's going to have to go around the outside or swap it up the inside. And that's going to put T-Joke on the outside into the next corner. These two are door to door, side by side. Jake's held it. T-Joke's held it. Sensational there from T-Joke. This is 7th and 8th. They're both battling because it's important for the reverse grid in terms of where they want to be. And the problem they've got is they're just slowing each other down at the moment. Sensational move from the two of them. Craig Deek, slow down penalty, track limit abuse from that position. But we leave that. Aaron Markham is now on the back of Shores. Shores is in 5th position. He's that 79. These two, first and second in the championship. Don't forget, 140 against 130 points. This is important for the championship. This is important for the points prizes. But he just can't get past. Shores has placed his car perfectly at the rear end. I am watching the battle for 3rd and 4th as well on the timing screens. There it is, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th. But Shores, Stu's had a slowdown penalty. Stu has had a slowdown penalty. Has that pushed him back? Has that? Yes, it has. Yes, it has. It's pushed him right into the back of the queue. So 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th, if they can close up, it'd be much more helpful. Through the left-hander we go. Needs to keep it nice and tidy. That's 4th position. Just ahead of him is 3rd and 2nd. And right behind 4th is 5th. There's 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th, nose to tail. It's like an M25 car park. Fantastic stuff. 4 minutes and 9.67 seconds to go. Sensational. Through the right-hander, 2nd corner we go. Stu Neal is doing all his worth to hold on to it. The problem is the man in the middle, the burger between the buns. That is the 5.28 of Simon Ashford. He's had another one. Stu Neal has had another slowdown penalty. He's got to learn, he's got to figure out how to curb this off without getting overtaken. It's really going to struggle. His only saving grace is that Simon Trebek is right over the rear camera of the gun behind. Craig Deeks and Butcher are close, but they've not really done it. Shores has had a slowdown penalty. They're all struggling now. I think it's got to be the tyres. The tyres have to be starting to fall away. That front left tyre is absolutely getting munched this evening. The question is, can they hold on? 2nd, 3rd and 4th, nose to tail. As you can see there, Trebek. I am watching the rest of the screen. There's no real movement at the moment. They're all just kind of holding station. So I will keep an eye. Chijok and Jake are still battling each other. So I've left the battle for the lead. This is the battle for 7th and 8th. Markham is on the back of Shores. This is the other battle that's raging on as it currently stands. But Markham just cannot get past Shores. Shores in that 79. It's just, he's run wide. He's run wide. This is it. This is Aaron's opportunity. Can Aaron, riding on board with him now, can he get right at the rear end? He's at the wrong part of the track. He's at the wrong part of the track to be able to do anything here. He's attempting to go past, but Shores is just going to park it on the apex, tab the brakes, say, if you want to come past me, you're going to have to attempt it. Into the penultimate corner we go, down onto the start-finish sheet. Simon Ashbourne is now side by side with Stu Neal. Stu will give him just enough. Who is nearly Zolder all over again? Stu will run him wide. That's pushed Simon wide, and Trebek mugs him. He checks out. He says, thank you very much. I put him in the wrong position. Trebek, absolutely sensational move onto the podium place positions, which is important because his nearest rival in the Doug Dale Trophy isn't even on the track. So he's absolutely nailed it tonight. Across over the bumps and goes through the right side, keeps it nice and tidy. Ashbourne now, he's just been dropped. He's being dropped and dropped 0.6 of a second. Shores is actually closing him up. It's 1 minute 39. It'll be 1 lap plus 1 for the king. And that will be 2 laps if you can count through the left side up over the crest of the hill we go. Markham is once again, he's not going to go around there. That's just not going to work. He's all over the back of Shores. He's trying all he can do here to attempt to do anything. This is the battle for 5th and 6th. Is it 5th and 6th? Oh, he's not going to go around there. Does he put it? Oh, he puts it on his 2 wheels. He's managed to hold on to it. He's so close he can read the number plate. That's how close he is. This is 5th position. That's Aaron Markham. We're riding on board with him now. Slow down penalty, Jake Wilson. That will relieve Jordan. Oh, he's all over the curbs. T-Joke, another slowdown penalty. Markham is turning the screw. Trebek is 0.4 of a second away from 2nd position. There you can see it. These are all just holding each other up now at the moment, but it's all about points finishes because we've only got 14 drivers, 13. Oh, Simon's run wide. Simon Ashbourne has run wide again. He's really run wide. He's got him checked himself out for a pit stop. Wrong racing. Simon's going to go backwards. He's not going to have to get up and go in his horses. He's going to have to think clever here. If he leaves the door open because it's his teammate, George has run wide. George has run wide. The championship has been blown wide open in race 5. Their problem now is you've got teammate versus George. George is the 78 at the back of your picture. There he is. He is racing Aaron Markham in the 79, who is in 3rd position. No, he's in 4th position. No, he's in 5th. I don't even know where he is. He's the one in the middle. And there he is. He's the 96. He's in 5th position. The man ahead of him is Simon Ashbourne. That's his teammate. The problem they've now got, this is the problem they've now got, is that for the next race, race 3, does he take the points now or does he take race 3? What's going to happen? What are they going to do? How are they going to play this? They need a big enough gap so they don't lose out to George. George is the 78, don't forget. Wilson is attacking the back of the car ahead. I will keep an eye on the timing screen. Craig Deeks and Butcher are together, but this is the battle. Trebek is going for Neil. Oh, there's so many battles. Markham is now with Ashbourne. Is this the switch? Is this the switch they're going to do? They're just, no, it isn't. They're not switching. They're both. Whoa, he's running wide. He's pushed him off the road. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. His teammate pushed him off the road. There's going to be words. George has now sneaked back into 5th position. I cannot believe it. So once again, so George is now back into 5th position. He started in 5th and he's back in 5th. Trebek is up. Wilson, Trebek is on the back of Neil. I don't think that's going to do. It's going to be a photo finish to the line. They managed to hold on to that position. Markham is going to come home in 6th. He started 6th. He's come home in 6th. I can't believe it. He was on for 4th position, and the points difference would make us no difference within striking distance after race 2. His teammate, I cannot believe it, his teammate might have just scampered his championship hopes. But always, as I always say, we only ever see what we see on camera. Derek Neal bringing the home car, and Bill Campion bringing the car home in 12th as well. Kane Alexander's a DNF at the moment, but Kane hasn't really... Someone's checked themselves out there. Lawson's first, followed by Neil, Trebek, Ashbourne. Where's the one I want? I want that one. Followed by Ashbourne. Then you've got George, Markham, Chijo, Wilson, Butcher, Deeks, Kirby, Campion, Neil and Alexander. And that's the racing as it currently stands. I can't believe it. Markham was up to 4th position and George was down to 6th. All they had to do was do a switch on the last corner on the straight to be able to take that position. Cannot believe it. I cannot believe it. That racing, wow, fantastic stuff. Right. Where are we? Right. We'll get to that because no doubt are they actually in the driver's chat yet? Yes, they are in the driver's chat, and it's going to be a very interesting one, to be perfectly honest. But we're going to go to the wheel of spin, and we are now going to determine where we change the racing and what happens. So let's go. Let's spin it. Let's see what we get. This will determine the break point between races 2 and 3. It's going to be on position 13. It's position 13. We will be reversing from Derek Neal. So Derek Neal is now on the pole position. Let's go across to the drivers. Right, let's see if we can log into the drivers and see if everything is there. Right, can you all hear me?
Yeah, how are you?
Fantastic. Right, I'm going to start with Simon first, if he's there.
Hello.
Hello. So, last 3 corners, I've got to ask. Aaron was coming up to the left side of you. Perfect position because George was behind. You could have swapped position. What happened?
I have no idea. I was just fighting to hold it on the track, I'll be honest. I didn't know who was where. Crew chief said there was a car alongside me, but I didn't know who he was. So, no, not a clue. Sorry. Just trying to keep it on the track because the front tyres were pretty much shot.
Were they shot at the end?
Yeah, they were pretty much gone. Really struggled.
It looked like, obviously Aaron's joined in as well now, but it looked like you, Aaron and George had we're just scrapping. Well, not scrapping. We're battling all the way through that race.
No, because I was at the front. I was third for a long time. And then the tyres started to go, and Simon Trebek got past me. And I kind of fell back into Shaw's and Aaron because my front tyres were going so badly. So they caught me up quite. As soon as you see Shaw's behind you, you know he's going to be on you in no time at all. And I was struggling with the tyres, as I said. So I was just happy to hang on to fourth, really. I thought I'd lost it at one point, and then Shaw's outbraked himself into turn one, and I managed to squeeze back past.
Yes.
And we were 3 wide at one point, I think.
I did notice that, which was a rare mistake from George. Very rare.
Yeah.
Very
it
rare
make
mistake.
Many. Yeah, I'll take it. It doesn't happen very often. It's a good race, though. Hard work, that one.
Do you know, from my perspective, it's a very busy lap, very difficult, and nobody rolled it that I'm aware of, but I could be wrong.
That's good.
But,
That's
you know,
good.
I've just jinxed it now. You know what I'm like? I've just jinxed it.
Race 2, everyone's on their roof.
Yeah, that's exactly what will happen. Jake, yourself, just quickly, we picked up you and T-Joke were racing hard through most of the race, trading sector times, trading slowdown penalties. We did catch one of the overtakes where I think you overtook him and then he overtook you again.
Where I overtook him. I remember overtaking him when he hit the first curve in the chicane. Is that what you're thinking of?
I don't know. There was a lot going on.
Was it?
I got it on stream. I'll put it that way.
If it was, then yes. If it is, then yes. I was on stream trying to check out where the reverse grid was. It's 13th.
Yes, it's 13th. I haven't actually published that. So if someone would like to put that in, that'd be grand, because I haven't done that yet. But yeah, so it's a very, very busy track. How's the Lincoln Co round there? Because obviously it doesn't look as nimble as the Seats.
No chance. I actually drove the Vauxhall Opel when you had all the content available. I was like, I drove that around Zolder. Oh my word, it was unbelievable.
But then it's one of those things is that whatever car you're not driving is always the better car.
Absolutely, you've got to say that. Otherwise, if you're not complaining about BOP, what are you doing?
You got to complain
like,
about
genuinely.
Racing driver excuse number 456.
The other car was better.
That's racing driver number.
Just quickly.
Racing driver excuse number 1.
Fantastic. Right, quickly to yourself, Russ. There was a. What did you and Craig have an organised switch, or was it a mistake?
You didn't see it then, no. Craig caught the red sausage curb at the first chicane and went flying. That was
right,
the only
okay.
reason why. Only reason why I got past him, because he's still quicker than me. So no, yeah, he was doing a great job until that point. He was when Jake and T-Joke got together. He was starting to catch them up a little bit, and I was kind of hoping that Jake and that weren't going to notice, and he was going to creep up behind. But just as he was starting to reel him in, he went flying at the chicane.
Well, it looked. I mean, it. See, that's the thing with this particular track is that one mistake like that, and it can change the dynamic at all. The problem is that on the board, it doesn't show red until they're within a certain time.
Yeah.
So it makes it quite difficult. But no, I did not know that. I did not know that. How's the Hyundai? Again, is it a bit of a barge this evening?
It is very much a barge. Well, you know, we're doing all right, but the big wheelbase car's not the car for this circuit, and we're just doing what we can do. The ballast doesn't help. I think in the first time I run the track here in practice, I had 9% tyre wear left on the right front.
Wow.
Did a bit better in that race. I had 19 left, but yeah, it's just eating tyres at the moment, and
it's going to be
the ballast doesn't help.
It's going to be a tough. I think it's
a long night tonight, mate. Yeah, it's going to be a very long night.
But it always. I mean, that it's always the way that it can always be that way. I mean, ultimately, it's one of those tracks where track position it's very Monaco. Track position is key here. You know, it's hard to pass. Mistakes cost you a lot. But, you know, it's from where we are, I mean, race 1 was fantastic.
I wouldn't say I made a mistake. Just everyone else's pace is just far much better than mine.
Blame
you know, I qualified all right at 47.1. That put us in about 8th or 9th place. I think I started, but just even on the opening lap, everyone's just got so much more pace and so much more confidence in their car than I have, and it showed really.
It's one of those things, isn't it? It's
yeah.
It's one of those things. Right, I'm going to let you go because there's 30 seconds to go. Good luck in race 2. Good luck, Jake, as well. And I will talk to you no doubt after.
Cheers, bud.
Cheers,
thanks,
bye-bye.
mate.
So there we go. There we have it. So all the drivers are going to be, once again, we're going to be back up and running for race 2. Yeah, it's a tough race. It's going to be a tough race, and it's a tough evening this evening in terms of what the drivers are going to have to go through. You know, you might, at the end of the day, it's one of those things. It might just seem like a sim racing game, but, you know, it's a lot of struggle. I mean, I can't do this. This is why I commentate, but it is what it is. Nobody's gone out on track. They're all just parked in the pit lane. The pit lane's quite weird here because it's actually a test track. It's the formation laps. We'll get around 50 seconds before we start going. This is race 2. We are at the BILSTERBERG track. That's where we currently are. It is a 15-minute race. It's 2 times tyre wear. Ballast is in position. Lawson and Neil are 1st and 2nd. Trebek is 3rd. Ashbourne's 4th. George is 5th. Markham is 6th. T-Joke is 7th. Wilson's 8th. Butcher's 9th. Deeks is 10th. Kirby's 11th. Campion is 12th. Neil is 13th. Alexander is 14th. As it currently stands. We've lost a couple of drivers. We've lost the 2 Norfolk Racing boys to technical issues. And we've lost Luke, unfortunately, due to... He's got to pick his misses up. His car had a flat tyre and then he has to pick his misses up. So unfortunately, we are down to 14 drivers tonight. There's always one of these during the season. One track, we always get to around 14, and then we build back up to the second half of the season. It's always like that. And so, yeah. It's a good chance to get some points. But here we go. Who will be leading into the pole in first lap? Will Trebek finally get that race win? He so deserves. Or will he be back? It is lights out and away we go for race 2 of this evening's racing. Lawson has done a fantastic start into the front. You can see Markham is trying to push the issue early in the back. They're all got through 2 by 2, 1 by 1. Trebek, slow down penalty. George is alongside the back. Lawson is still in the lead. Simon Ashbourne's run wide. He's lost a place already to Shaw's. His teammate is behind him in the 96. She's going to go up the inside. Fantastic stuff. Aaron takes the position. He says thank you very much. George is now, where's George? George is currently holding 4th. He's gained 1. Markham's gained 1. Ashbourne's down 2. So he's really struggled already on the opening lap. Ballast on board, don't forget. Ballast versus Ballast. There is Ashbourne. He's in 6th position right behind the only ladder. That is T-Joe. Neil is at the back of Lawson, but the early opening stages of the race, he did do that before as they all climb up the hill to the right side. Over the bump we go. Wilson in the background is now trying to get around George. Sorry, not George, T-Joe. Is he going to be able to do that? You can see Markham is now once again on the rear end of George there, 78 versus 96, but we're watching this battle. Markham is right on the rear end again. This is 4th. He's made a mistake. He's made a mistake. I can't believe it. Has he had was there a tap? Was there something else? Has Markham's pulled over? I think Markham might have tapped him. Markham might have tapped the rear end of George. George will recover. Yes, George has recovered. There must have been something. Fantastic etiquette there from Markham. Markham has just pulled over, and that's going to open the championship up to Neil, because the 2 championship contenders are now right at the back of the grid. Kane Alexander is at the back of Bill Campion. There's Bill. He's the number 11. Deeks and Wilson are going side by side into turn 1. This is technically turn 2, but that's where we are. As you can see now, riding from the the rear view of Wilson. He's in 6th. In 7th position is Deeks. Behind that is Butcher. Don't forget, we were talking to Butcher momentarily. Trebek is on the back of Neil. This is the battle for 2nd and 3rd. We are keeping an eye on the battles in the field. Cale Alexander has got past Derek Neal. No, he hasn't. Cale, what's happened to Kane? He's had an accident. Kane's had an accident, I think, by himself, so he's back out of the road. Tijo, he's in 5th position, and you can see Wilson and Deeks are really hammering each other. This is 6th, and that is 7th. Lawson's going for the double tonight. Lawson's there. He is slow down penalty. He's pushing and pushing and pushing because Neil is turning the screw. That is what is crucial. Neil is actually applying pressure over the crest nail. That's a fantastic camera. Jake Wilson is now on the back of Tijo. There is Tijo. He's in 5th position. Behind that is the 68. Look how much more confidence that Deeks has. We're riding on board. He's in 7th. Just ahead of that is 6th and 5th. 5th, 6th and 7th. 3 different nationalities. 3 different human beings into the left. Right, left we go. Down there. Oh, he's outbraked himself. He nearly rear ends the 68 ahead. Fantastic. He gets it stopped. Rotates the car. Back on the power he goes. 2nd, 3rd, into 4th. They'll hang it all the way up to 5th. It's all about who is brave. Neil is challenging Lawson, but I don't think it's going to be real anything from here because Neil has Trebek for company. That's 2nd and 3rd. We are keeping an eye on that. This is the battle for 5th, 6th and 7th. Markham and Shaw's are closing the gap, but not enough. Trebek now. Lawson hasn't driven away with it. There's Lawson in the 53. He's front of the queue, riding on board with him now. Right behind that is 2nd, 3rd. In 4th is Ashpool. He's kind of in no man's land. Riding on board with Trebek. Here he is in the 34. He's trying to do what he can. All cars still on track. All cars with 4 wheels pointing in the right rough direction. Left-hand side we go. Then it's the right side we go. The problem now is this is Neil. He's in 2nd position while bouncing over the curves. Suspension screaming murder. Trebek is going to go for a podium position. He's got the least amount of ballast of the car ahead, but not the one that's in 1st. So it is all to play for. Neil in that 99 is doing a stellar job. This is the night to get a haul of points. This is the night that you want to get as many points as you can get. Wilson and Tijo are battling each other, but I don't think they're going to do anything from that position, really. He's going to struggle climbing up the hill. Through the left-hander we go. Jake's in the 68. Is that car in the middle? We're riding on board with him now. Just ahead of that, that is the bright yellow Lada of Tijo from the rear view camera. This is 5th. That is 6th. There is 7th. There is Deeks poking himself out there, saying, hello, boys, I'm coming. Through the right-hander he goes. Does Jake get a slowdown for that? Yeah, he does. He cut down too much corner. He cut way too much of the cake, and as a result, that has proper hindered him in terms of what he's starting to see. He's going to have to be careful now. Climbs up over the hill through the left-right. Ashbourne's on his own. Trebek needs to play the long game here. Wilson is absolutely once again got his stablemates with him. Front ahead of him, he's got T-Joke behind of him. He's got his old buddy Craig Deeks. I was going to say flame then, but that's probably the wrong terminology. Through the left-hander we go. Jake's going to 2 wheels in the grass there. Car squirming, under braking. Into 2nd we go. Through the right-hander, into the left-hander. T-Joke is putting a stellar job. He's putting the moves on the man behind. He's holding on to it. They all cluster up. Jake Wilson, another slow-down penalty. He's only got 30 points to play with, so he needs to be careful. Through the right-hander we go. Bouncing across the curve. Through the left-hander we go. They need to be super careful now that they don't cause a massive accident. They're all after points. Trebek is at the back of Neil, but he's not really doing anything. We leave that battle at the moment. Now, George and Markham are making progress. At the current rate, the 2 at the back, these 2 here, where's Markham? He's 3 seconds behind. So he's near, just makes no difference. He's miles off the front. Jake Wilson once again at the rear end, and Trebek again is attempting to get past Neil, but I don't think he's going to do it. Wilson's, he nearly outbraked him, so he did outbrake himself, and that's bouncing across the curbs. He needs to be careful. That's going to put the car really in the wrong position if he doesn't be careful. As we go now through the left hander, can he hold on to it? Then it's the right left. And this is the problem you can see. If you look at 12th position, George is 20.7 seconds away from the lead. Aaron is 25 seconds off the lead. So those 2, as near just make no difference. It's going to be you know, their only saving grace is the fact that this evening there isn't that many cars in there, so he's really going to help them. Trebek is now going to attempt to go for a move. He's side by side. Neil's cleverer than that. He's going to put the he's run wide. Trebek ran wide. He had an opportunity there. He just had to sell him the dummy, and he would have done it. Kane Alexander's another DNF this evening. I think his evening's gone from bad to worse, but it is what it is. It's a tough little track this in terms of where he is. Slow down penalty for track limit abuse. So he's really going to struggle for that. Bill Campion is up to 10th position as he currently stands. There he is. He's chasing down Martin Kirby, and he's got Derek Neal for company. George is slowly closing. There's George in the 79. There he is. It's a Seat versus Renault Megane. Phil Lawson's currently leading by 1.79 seconds. We're on lap 5, 7 minutes to go. Halfway through with halfway left. That's actually less than halfway, but never mind, I rounded up. Through the left-hander he goes. And he keeps it nice and tidy. Derek Neal riding on board with him now. He's trying to fight the man up front. That is Bill Campion, but he's also got a man behind, and that is Shaw's. He's lost 7 places. Another slowdown penalty for Simon Ashmore as we go up over the hill. And you can see how steep this blind crest basically as you go over the top of the hill. Then he goes through the left-hander, keeps it nice and tidy. Shaw's is on a recovery drive. He's gone wide again. He bounces across the curbs. Shaw's is on a recovery drive now. So Shaw's has the recovery here. So my best guess is he should get 9th position. But the thing to remember here is that he's going to lose a whole load of ballast. I think he's going to lose a whole load of ballast. So it might play into his favour, but yeah, he's going to struggle from that position, I think, to get anywhere near up the top end of the position. We'll keep an eye on the battle. This should be a done deal. He's 2 tenths of a second behind, 3 tenths. This should be a done deal, really. I think Shaw's will just pick his moment. He'll get a better drive off the corner, yeah, and then he's just going to drive past him, basically. Phil Lawson, Derek Neal is on the left. He's that number 7. I think Derek will fight him a little bit. Yeah, he'll give him a little bit of a fight, but not enough that really causes Shaw's any real issues. His next battle will be Bill Champion. Now, this is the battle for second position. In the second position is Neal. There he is. He's the 99. Right behind him is the 34. That is Trebek. Trebek has been absolutely flying, but then he made that mistake, don't forget, a couple of laps ago, and that pushed him. He was there primed to take second position, so he needs to just play this clever now. He's in 3rd position. He's in the Renault Megane. He's that number 34. Right ahead of him is Stu Neal, and you can see how close they are down to the rear view camera. This is the problem. As they come down over the crest of the hill, the cars are bouncing all over the road. They go now into that left side. It needs to keep it nice and tidy. No heroics here. This is the chicane. You won't get past here. You need to set him up into turn 1. They both take a lot more curb than they should have done there. But Neal gets another penalty. Another slow down penalty. Wilson's accruing those faster than you can get Marmite sandwiches. Absolutely heroic stuff there. Through the left and right we go. This is pretty much straight line. Martin Kirby. Shaw's is now at the back of Bill Campion. Yeah, Bill just let him... he put up a fight, but not enough fight to slow him down. Because Bill Campion is fighting Derek Neal. That is the thing he's got. This man here is fighting the man behind, not the man ahead. Trebek is once again, this is where he's got to do it. 4 minutes remaining. He needs to set him up. He needs to really think about it and get a better drive out that corner. He needs to push Neal into a mistake. Neal's in the 99, don't forget. He's the car ahead. The man behind is Trebek. These two, don't forget, had a coming together at one of the racetracks earlier in the season. So they are being so courteous to each other. They're being very careful. Benny's going to be joining us for race 3 at the back of the grid, bouncing across the curbs through the right side. Go! Needs to keep it nice and tidy, no heroics. Stu Neal is doing all he needs to do. Fastest laps at 1:47.052. It's nowhere near the qualifying paces. They were in the 1:46s, don't forget. Stu Neal, second in the championship, 128 points. Trebek, who is 3rd. Renault Megane, there he is, his first 128 points in the Dugdale Trophy. Stu Neal, first time race winner this season. Trebek, first season, not a race win to his name, but I don't know if he's fighting for race wins. Ashbourne in the back is kind of on his own. Trebek is not going to get past here. Trebek is not going to do anything here unless he punts him out of the way, and that's not the type of racing we want to see. Through the right, left, they need to keep it nice and tidy. They need to keep it nice and neat. All four wheels need to be pointing in the right direction. Bill Campion in the back, being passed by Aaron Markham. That was kind of a done deal. Aaron is now making room. Jake Wilson is now on the back of, so is Trebek. There's so many. We're going to quickly leave that to join that. Yeah, Jake's a little bit further ahead. I'm keeping an eye on the battle. So it's 5th and 6th, Trebek and Neal. Those are the battles. So 1st to 4th have not changed positions. 5th, Z-Joke's up 2. Right, we're going to look at the Trebek battle momentarily. We'll look at the Wilson battle. Come on. So Wilson is going to attempt to go around the outside, but T-Joke is absolutely doing all he needs to do. Aaron Markham should go past Derek Neal. That should be pretty much a done deal on this next lap. We'll keep an eye on that. Slow down penalty for Neal. For Deeks. They've got to be careful. There's only 30 points. Jake is 2 tenths to Trebek. He gets closer and closer. Trebek gets closer and closer. Derek Neal is doing an absolutely stellar job there, but he's slowing. The problem is Neal is slowing down Markham, and he's allowing Campion to chase him. He's fine racing for positions, but he's really got to think about his championship. He's not really racing that 96, and he's closing Bill Campion up to it. George has had a slow down penalty. We'll keep an eye on that battle while it goes on. Wilson is going to attempt to go around the outside of T-Joke. These two have been basically locked together for the entire race. Markham is now, he's run wide. He's run wide. That's pushed T-Joke wide. Has that pushed him too wide? No, it hasn't. Yes, it has. Markham and Neal, yes, a job done really, but look at Campion. Campion has joined the party now. There he is. He is that Lincoln Co at that number 11. So Neal, Derek Neal, not Stu Neal, they're father and son. I'm not sure why they're not in the same racing team, but there we go. Bill Campion, Ruskin Spanish Racing, running as an independent, is now right on the back of the man ahead. Trebek, this is the battle for 2nd and 3rd. So the midfield from 7th to 8th is kind of stagnant at the moment. They're just trading sector times. They're not really making progress as it currently stands. Trebek, this is it. This is his only opportunity now. He needs to really think about this. He needs to force an issue from... Is this it? Has he done it? No, he hasn't. I thought he'd done it. I thought he'd managed to force the issue, but he hadn't. The 34 behind, that's 3rd position. That is Simon Trebek. On 2nd position, Stu Neal. Ooh, a little bit of a sim twitch there. Managed to keep the 4 wheels in the right direction. The wagon is still rolling. Through the left-hander we go. 7 seconds remaining. Phil Lawson will do the double dirty tonight. The question is, will he take a 3rd one from race 3? Long tall order from 13th. Through the left-hander we go. Needs to keep it nice and tidy through this left-hander. No heroics. Crosses over the bumps we go. Stu is doing all his worth. Derek Neal has lost out to Campion. He's lost out. Campion has taken the position. Where's the battle? There it is, 2nd and 3rd. In 2nd position, that is the 99, Stu Neal. Don't forget the 99 has been run by 2 other drivers through the seasons, but this is season 4 and it's been taken by this man here, bouncing across the curbs from the front camera. This is it. This is what he's got to do. He needs to, I don't think he's going to do anything. I really don't. I think that's it. I think Stu Neal has done an absolutely cracking job, basically holding up the Renault for the entire race. They started 2nd and 3rd. Trebek had the opportunity. Neal just kept the car planted. He's got less than half a lap to go. Trebek is in 3rd. Don't forget, he's the black Renault Megane, that number 34, the white 99 Seat. It hasn't got a flake in it, but it might do when we get to this last corner. He's gone and tugged the whole road. He's going to be a drag to the line. He's not going to get enough slipstream down here. That Renault just doesn't have the top end speed. And it's game over. An absolutely stellar drive there from Neal. Trebek is in 3rd, Ashbourne's 4th. Shaw's has done a stellar recovery job up to 10th position. Markham is right behind him. There's Markham, he's miles back, as near as that makes no difference. But Shaw's will get a 10th. T-Joke and Wilson are still... Don't worry about that. They're just doing spinnies on the last race. Markham will bring the home in 11th. Campion gets 12th, which is stellar for his racing career, not his racing career, for his champion. Derek Neal, stellar job in the background, again into 13th, and another DNF for the Kane Alexander. But there we go. I'm not sure why Kirby comes up as a ... but there we go. But that's how it currently stands. So Lawson, double race winner this evening. That was pretty much a done deal. But he needed to do that, to be honest, if he wants any chance of a victory at the end of this, any chance of winning. But it means he's not in the Dugdale Trophy. Neil is second, Trebek is third, Ashbourne's fourth, Wilson's fifth, T-Joke is sixth, Deeks is seventh, Butcher's eighth, Kirby's ninth, George is 10th, Markham is 11th, Campion is in 12th, Neil is in 13th. That's the father Neil, not the son Neil. Kane Alexander is in 14th. And that's how it stacks up. So 146.504, fastest race time. I have seen people doing 145, so yeah, it's going to be very, very tricky in terms of that. Right, let's go across to the drivers. Hello and welcome back to the commentary box again. We're going to go into here and see if we can pick everybody up. Can you both hear me?
Who are you?
Afraid so, Andy.
Who are me? Thank you very much. See, they've forgotten who I am already. So start with yourself. You first. Start with yourself first. Start with first. You know what I mean. Simon, I need to come down. I need to come off the commentary box.
Put your teeth back in.
So it looked like a fairly, I wouldn't say lonely race. I think that would be the wrong way of saying it. But
it was after. I mean, I got hit. I lost out to Aaron and Shaw's right at the beginning. I got jumped a bit there because I got offline and on the dirt, and it all got a bit messy. And then unfortunately Aaron had a coming together with Shaw's, which was such a shame. It was just a tap, but it was enough to send him off. And then Aaron's obviously waited for him, so I was 2 seconds behind the front pack, or 3 seconds behind the front pack, and a couple of seconds ahead of Choke, and I pretty much stayed there the rest of the race. Bit of squeezing up and down, but
it seemed like it was one of those type of races where that track it's a small, tight, twisty track in nature, very difficult to get past. But yeah, kind of.
I don't think there is a solid overtaking opportunity. You need someone to outbrake themselves or have a complete mare in a corner and lose momentum. That's your only chance. If everybody's on the line and not making mistakes, you've got no chance to overtake at all.
It's just so difficult. So difficult.
Yeah. It's single file.
For yourself, Aaron, obviously, I'm going to bring it up because it was on the stream, unfortunately. I do apologise. Race 2, it looked, hands down, waiting for George Shaw's. Was it just an outbreak thing, or is it?
No,
I don't want to talk about it. We'll wait till we'll talk about it another time.
We were alongside, and I think I was probably going to go deep into the corner, but the way that the cars broke, it was a little bit like what happened to Russ at Zolder. And his back end's come across my front end and totally killed him. So I'll hold my hands up. I thought it was my fault, so I waited for George and let him back through. I thought that was the only polite thing to do, really, because it killed both of our races.
But with that aside, looking back to race 1, because we didn't get a chance to talk in race 1, that looked very hectic in terms of utmost concentration in terms of the track. Did you find that as well? Because you yourself, as we talked to Simon came, tyres were going, and then you and George just had, it almost like you were battling with each other but dragging each other on. Would that be the right way of describing it?
Yeah, I mean, I think I was a tiny bit faster than George because of the slipstream and being ever so slightly lighter. I was able to just copy him and break that marginally later. But I thought that I had the jump on both Simon and George, and then going side by side through the chicane with Simon, I killed my exit, and that was it for George, and they both got back through. So I think in terms of pace, we were both as quick as each other. Really, it didn't matter who would have been in front of the other. It'd have been the same scenario. So, yeah, I think we were just dragging each other along. Not our track tonight, but race 1 was a good result, and then race 2, I've kind of killed it for both of us. But if we're going to take a positive from that, at least we'll both be light going into next week.
Yeah, there is that as well. There is that positive as well. I mean, how are you finding it? Because obviously, you know, both Jake, Russ previously, and Simon, it's very much a single file track, but it's you know, it's very hard in terms of concentration because it's corner, 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 corner. There's no real respite in that track at all.
No, it's intense. This is the hardest I've ever had to work on the sim. Just for all outright pace and consistency, you know. It's just been really difficult, and it's not really suited me at all. But we move. I'm just hoping for a good race 3.
It's one of those things, isn't it? Right, I'll no doubt I'll talk to you after. Just quickly to yourself, Jake. I haven't got long. I've got about a minute and 10 to yourself, Jake. That race again, you were with your old buddy through the whole race once again. Again, are you finding it like...
Which one? Beacon or staring at the back of a lad all day?
Yeah, pretty much. Well, yeah. I mean, I'm not going to say it, but yeah, that's exactly what was happening. Standing at the back
Reverse
of the lad.
grid though now, Jake. You'll be ahead of him.
Yeah. So actually, you'll be ahead of him, and then he can stare at the back of you.
So nice. It's so nice. To be honest, I actually passed him on that last lap. He hit the curb at the triple chicane, and I got past him. It was so relieving. It was unbelievable.
But again, is it that whole...
Totally.
In terms of the track, are you finding it's a case of that you're having to really concentrate here? Just because...
Absolutely.
It's very... I think Bill Campion summed it up perfectly. He said it's basically Cadwell. It's that it's corner, 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 corner. You don't get any real respite.
I mean, he's right. It's like if the Nordschleife and Cadwell Park had a baby, because I don't think Cadwell Park is as bumpy as that, because like you have that horrendous bump on the braking into the chicane. Oh God!
It's one of those.
I don't think you have Park.
Right.
So much fun though. It's so much fun.
Right. Well, good luck. Good luck in the last race. No doubt I'll talk to you after. Yeah. Good luck.
Yep.
Good luck.
Thank you.
So there we go. We're back over now to the main feed. Obviously, you can see the feed up here. We've got 45 seconds. 2 races, 30. So this is the reverse grid. It is at 13. We have 15 cars now in because Mr. Norton has rejoined us. Norton will start at the back of the grid, unfortunately. Well, it's not unfortunately because he missed race 1. It does mean that... Derek Neal and Campion are first and second. So they might decide just to pull over in the first corner, just pull over and let everybody go through. So they're going to have to be careful just because there will be a whole heap of cars coming behind them and they're battling each other. So, yeah. It's the final race of the evening. Benny's back in. It's a shame that Benny couldn't join us for the entire race, but there we go. It is what it is. Right, the practice session is now over, and then we'll have our formation. It's a real shame we haven't got formation laps on this, because that'd be fantastic. Lead car forms up, and then from the formation lap, we then get the... Oh, that'd be so fantastic if there was a proper formation lap. Oh, well, never mind. There's not a lot I can do about that, to be honest. I'm not in it. This is race 3. It's the reverse grid. It's the last race of the evening. I am your commentator, Andy Pawley. I've been here for the entire event, and I will be here until the end, which will be about 20 past 10. Yeah, it'll be about... Well, probably won't be, actually. It'll probably be about 10 o'clock this evening. We're at the BILSTERBERG Geschmackes track. Somebody will probably have a go at me. It's the one with the chicane. And they are all on the hard tyre this evening. It's the only tyre they can run. They aren't actually allowed to run any tyre, but there you go. We do have this QRQ function. It actually does some fantastic stuff. Look at that. But you can't vote for the driver of the day because the QR function doesn't actually work. We are going to sort that out. We're going to turn it into... I don't know. There we go. Here we go. Last race of the evening. It's all going to be very hawky-balky into the first corner. Will anybody go into barrier? It's 15 minutes racing. Derek Neal's on lead by Bill Campion. And it's lights out and away we go. And Bill Campion has had a horrible, horrible start off the lead, off the pole position. He's going to go right into the back of the grid. There's a little bit of melee in the background as they all sort themselves out. Campion is all the way at the back of the grid. He's going to have to try and file himself in, and he's got it done. Tic-tac that box. Deeks is currently in second. Derek Neal is currently leading. Butcher's in third, and he's going to be a massive roadblocker. Jake Wilson's in the 68. There's contact in the background between George and Martin Kirby. I cannot believe it. There's contact between the two cars. I think that is George's race is over from there. Bill Campion is going backwards and backwards. Benny Norton's into 11. He's going to have to pick his moment as he goes through the field. George has got a DNF. He's got a DNF at the minute. Derek Neal is leading. Through the left-hander we go. Needs to keep it nice and tidy. No heroics through here. Norton does have the ability to get past. Neal is behind Trebek. Martin Kirby, he's gone off of the curb as well. Where is Benny Norton? Benny Norton is behind Bill Campion. He's behind Aaron Markham. Deeks is challenging for the lead against Neal. He's got to run. He's got to run into the turn, the left-right turn. They need to be careful into this chicane. This could end badly. Neal's run wide. Neal's run wide. That's allowed Deeks into a position. Wilson and Butcher are side by side. They're going to get past Neal as well. So Neal in that number 7, he's got past. He said thank you very much. Checks himself out. Sensational stuff. T-Joke is into 5th. Where is Trebek? Trebek is in 6th. There he is. He's behind the Lada. Boom, the number 34. There he is, riding on board with him now. He's behind this train of cars. Derek Neal is in 3rd. Behind him is Stu Neal. There's Stu Neal in the 99. That's the white Seat with 13 minutes to go. Oh, there's contact at the front between the two. That's between Neal and Trebek. A little contact between that's allowed Wilson and Neal to sort themselves out. Neal there in the number 4th is trying to do all he can, but I think he's just going to get mugged. He will get mugged and go, yeah, he's going to get mugged going through this section as well. He's going to be on the outside. There's contact between those two as well. There's 99, which is Stu Neal. Stu Neal is trying to hold on to it. There is the thing. There's Trebek. Trebek's trying to go around the outside of Neal. That's just not going to work around there. Neal's just going to shut that door solidly shut. Boom. Done. Neal has shut that door behind Neal. That's Stu Neal in the white 99. Behind him in the 34 is Trebek. Behind him is Ashpool. Kane Alexander and Mark. Where's Kane? Kane's had another DNF. I don't know if he just doesn't like the track or he's just decided he doesn't just want to do it anymore. So he's had another DNF. Lawson and Norton are now stuck behind the whole train of cars, and Deke now has his partner right behind him, Butcher. But you can see here, riding from the rear camera of Derek Neal. Derek Neal is, where is Neal? There is Neal. Derek Neal is the blocker. He's the massive hawk in this huge bottle of cars that are all trying to get past him. They will get past him one by one at the moment. Bill Campion's in the back. Lawson is attacking Norton. So, where is Norton? Norton's the car 10. He's the 69. He's the only Alfa Romeo currently running. There he is. Right behind him. Oh, he's run wide. He's run wide. Has that allowed Lawson to go up the inside? No, it hasn't. Lawson's going to go for the switchback. He's the 53. He's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th car in the line. He's the car on the right side. Boom, there he is. There is Lawson in number 53. He's going to attempt to go around the outside of the 69, but I don't think that's possible. The cars in front are all squabbling each other, and the two teammates are squabbling now. There's the two teammates, Ashbourne and Markham. Ashbourne is the 96. The 28 is 28 is Ashbourne. The 96 is Markham. Can't keep up. They are teammates 2 by 2. Just ahead of them is Trebek and Neal. And those two are now holding station as the 99, that is Stu Neal. But you can see the battle between Lawson. So Lawson riding on board with Lawson now. There he is in the number 11. He's attempting to do all he can. Can he do anything from here? Through the right side, through the left side he goes. Tries to hold on to it, down into the dip he goes. Then we go up onto the hill, and you can see here riding from Norton's car, the cars are bouncing all over the road as they climb over the crest of the hill. Can he do anything? Aaron is now side by side with Trebek. Trebek's in the 34, the 96 is Aaron. It's just not going to work through there. They've managed to file themselves into a line one by one. At the front, Wilson is attacking Butcher. Where's Deeks? What happened to Deeks? Butcher is currently leading from Wilson. Where is Deeks? We didn't see that on stream. Unfortunately, we were watching this battle. I think he must have made a mistake. Or he's broken the wheels. How many wheels has he got in his wagon? He's busted the car. He's absolutely cremated the car. The car is not pointing in the right direction. So Deeks now was in a race-winning position. And there he is, the 19. But he's got 4 wheels on the wagon, all pointing in the wrong direction. At the moment, Derek in that number 7 is the blocker in the cork. He is the massive roadblock. You can see riding on board with him now. You have 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th and 11th nose to tail, and they're all so close to each other that they're holding on to each other. Oh, there's a little bit of a contact there between everybody, contact between teammates. Everybody spun round. Cannot believe it. How far does Neil go back? We'll hit that on the button as well. So Lawson in the 53 is now up to 9th. Where is Aaron? He's in 12th position. Lawson is in 8th. 9th, 8th is Benny Lawson. Neil is in 7th. He's currently holding on to that position, but I think he's trying to do all he can there. He's in 6th. Bill Campion is up to 11th. He was leading. Through the left side we go. You can see Norton's run wide. Norton's run wide in the 96 Alpha. That's allowed the 28 to come into position. And that's allowed Lawson up to 8th. He's gained 5 positions as it currently stands. Trebek is attacking the back of Derek Neal, and behind Neil, Trebek is now Lawson. They're all holding on to each other. There is Neil. He's in the middle of the road trying to do all he can, but I don't think he's going to be able to do anything really. He is in race winning because he is in a race fighting position. Butcher's currently leading from the back of Wilson. There is the 34 of Trebek. There is the 53. That's compromised Trebek's exit. He is the Renault on the right, and the left is the 53. They'll give each other enough room. Derek Neal has run wide, and that should be a done deal there for Neil. Neil should go somewhere near the back of the grid. Yeah, he has. And Phil Lawson in the 53. So I think Neil, there he is, he's pulled over. That's allowed Trebek now to advance into 6th position. He's up 5. Deeks is his next target on the road, and Deeks is struggling because he's broken some of the suspension. Don't forget the 4 wheels are on the wagon, but they're all pointing in the wrong direction. Lawson is now going to attempt to go round Neil. Neil is in the 9th position. There is car 7. There is car 53. 53 is Phil Lawson. Phil Lawson's going to go around the outside. Yeah, he's thought better of it. And then this 69, which is Benny Norton, just following through as well. Derek Neal there, holding on to that position. To the right side we go. Keeps it nice and tidy. Holds on to any advantage he's got. He's into 8th position. He's up 5 places at the moment. Butcher is in a championship, is in a race-winning position. Can he do anything? Can he hold on to it? From the right hander we go. Bounces across the curb. Into the left hander we go. Keep it nice and tidy. All 4 wheels are pointing in the road. Jake Wilson and Butcher are fighting each other at the back, at the front. This is currently the battle I'm watching. This is 1st, 2nd and 3rd. In 1st is the 26. That is Butcher. In 2nd is Jake Wilson. And his 3rd is Tijo. He hasn't won a race victory as of yet. Can he get it? Any 3 of these, and Stu Neal is in 4th. If they have a massive accident in the next 6 minutes, there will be it could be a 3-4-way battle for the lead. Craig D, I think Craig's car is completely gone. His car is completely toast. Through the left hander we go. Needs to keep it nice and tidy. Needs to keep it nice and neat now. Jake Wilson riding on board with him. He's in 2nd position. And as you can see, he's gaining and gaining and gaining on Butcher, but it's such a hard track to pass at that somebody ahead has to make a mistake. Butcher's run a little wide. That would allow Wilson the opportunity. No, he hasn't been able to capitalise on that. He hasn't been able to go up the inside of Butcher. Butcher holds on to it again. But Tijo, who is in as 3rd position, is now is joined the party. He's at the back as well, 0.3 of a second. They're basically holding station. Worst 1st, 2nd and 3rd aren't really progressing from here, aren't really doing anything. It's all to play for with 5 minutes 33 remaining. In terms of what we've got, that will be estimated at 3 more laps, basically. 3 more laps, and it's a 4-way battle for the lead. Aaron Markham, there he is in the 96. Don't forget, there was a coming together, an incident where they were all trying to get past Derek Neal, and it all resulted in a spin round, which really struggled him in terms of where we are. Simon Trebek is in 6th. He's now attacking the back of Craig Deek. He's hoping for some good points. Derek Neal is down in 10th. He was at the front to begin with. Keeps it nice and tight. Can they hold him over the curbs of the hill? Keeps it L4 wheels on points, and Craig Dean, don't forget, has damage. His car is not healthy at the moment. Neil is on the back of T-Joke, and Aaron is going past Campion over the crest of the hill. This is an incredibly dangerous manoeuvre if he manages to pull it off. He's going to hold it on the outside. He'll have the inside. Bill thinks better of it, tabs the brake ever so slightly, and position is changed. Butcher's had a slowdown penalty. George has run wide. T-Joke has run wide, and that's allowed Neil into 3rd. T-Joke is going to attempt to get past Neil. Neil at the current rate is going to be leading the championship going into the next round. T-Joke's run wide. He's really run wide coming out of that corner. Are all the 4 wheels in the right direction? That's the problem. Neil is now fighting for the lead. Neil is the man fighting for the lead. So Wilson in the 68, 4 minutes to go, and in the background, Craig Deek is a massive roadblocker now. He's the number 19 behind him. There's Trebek, Ashbourne, Lawson and Benny right at the back. Lawson is the 53, don't forget, double race winner this evening. And he's allowed Norton the space to go up the inside. Has he done it? No, he hasn't. So it's reset all over again. 3 minutes 37 remaining, 3 laps, including this one. It's 2.5 laps actually, including this one. This is the battle for 5th position, by the way. In 5th is Craig Deek. It's Hyundai versus Renault versus Seat versus Alfa Romeo. 4 different cars, all fighting and vying for that top position. Who is going to be victorious? 3 minutes and 15 to find out. Through the right side we go, across the top of the hill. At the front, Butcher and Neil are now side by side. Oh, there's contact! There's contact between the 2 drivers, and that's pushed Neil back into 3rd position. Cannot believe it. T-Joke, does he manage to mug Neil as well? No, he doesn't. Yes, he does. No, he doesn't. Bounces across the curves. Whoa, that's pushed Neil out. That's really pushed Neil out. Neil is going to go back now from 1st all the way down into 4th position. Does he hold on to it? He's going to have to slot in the inside. He slots it in, says thank you very much, recovers back into 3rd. Through the left side he goes, holds on to the position. T-Joke is now back up to 3rd. Wilson is now battling for the lead, but we leave that battle and rejoin the battle for 5th position. So in 5th is Craig Deek. He's the Hyundai, the number 19. He's that roadblocker. 34 is Trebek. 28. What happened to... Where's Lawson? Disqualified. Lawson's had a disqualification. So Lawson's had a disqualification in race 3, but he's a double race winner. Jake Wilson is now vying for the lead. Craig Deek is in 5th position. Behind him is Benny Norton in the 69. He's going to really hold on to it. Through the right side we go. Can he do anything from here? No, he's going to shut that door solidly shut. Aaron Markham is into 10th position. Can he do anything? Can he hold on to anything? Through the left side we go. Markham is really doing all he can. Holding on to all he can. I lost my radio there momentarily, but we are back now. Craig Deek is in 5th position. There he is. He's holding up everybody basically in 6th, 7th, 8th and 9th. The question is, can he do anything from here? Can he deliver anything? Through the left side we go, then into the right-left corners. Keeps it nice and tidy. Jake Wilson is trying to attack T-Joke for the lead. Neil is remounting his lead. It's 4 40 seconds to go. That's the key. It's 40 seconds remaining. Is he going to be able to deliver something? Is he going to be able to hold it? I don't think so. Deeks is once again in a gaggle of cars. 1, 2, 3, 4. Holding on to all he can do. Through the left side we go. It will be one more lap. There will be one more lap before the end of the race, and that's crucial. So it is all to play for. Neil should do this done. Where's Deeks? Deeks has Ashbourne right behind him in the number 19. Sorry, in the number 25. Deeks is really struggling in that car. Through the right side he goes. Keeps it nice and tidy. Holds onto it. Doesn't need to do anything heroic here. Through the right hand we go. Through the left hand we go. Jake Wilson's run wide. Jake Wilson, I think, has run wide. And as he broke the suspension. Has he broke the suspension? He's done something because he's all the way at the back. Benny Norton is in 6th, holding on to it. Can he do anything heroic through the right side? Keeps it nice and tidy, so he's got past Trebek. And Jake Wilson, he must have damaged the car. That car does not sound healthy at all. But at the front, Butcher now has T-Joke and Neil all fighting him for position. Deeks and Ashbourne have same position. Deeks has run wide, so that's released him, but we'll watch the lead for the battle. Butcher is currently leading in the 22nd. Right behind him, that is the number 30. That is T-Joke. Behind him is the 99. It is Hyundai, Lada versus Cupra. All keeping it nice and tidy, all keeping it on the 4 wheels, all keeping it nice and neat. Through the left, right, left we go. Penultimate corner coming up. Can he hold on to it? Can he do anything? Benny Norton is going to get past Ashbourne. I don't think he's going to do it around there. That's just not going to work. It isn't. Through the left side he goes. So Butcher coming up now. Wasn't the penultimate corner, it was the penultimate hairpin. Through the left, through the right we go. Needs to keep it nice and tidy. Through the left-hander, all nose to tail. Norton and Trebek are still fighting each other. This is the battle for 5th and 6th position. In 5th is Benny Norton. In 6th is Trebek. Jake Wilson disqualified. I suspect that's because he kept running off the track due to the damage to the car. But he will cross the line. So Stu Neal will cross the line in 3rd. Butcher's 1st. T-Joke is 3rd. Neil is T-Joke 2nd. Neil is 3rd. Ashbourne is 4th. Norton is 5th. Trebek is 6th. Deeks is 7th. 8th is Markham. Neil is 9th. Champion is 10th. Kane Alexander DNF. Kirby DNF. Shaw's DNF. Wilson is disqualified, and Wilson has a DQ as well. So as it stands, that is the end of the race. I think Bill Campion's bringing it home at the rear. So he brings it home. And there is the classifications of the evening. So fastest lap goes to Norton. If Norton had been in the race this evening, I think he would have been able to do it. So Butcher, followed by TJ, followed by Neil, followed by Ashbourne, followed by Norton, Trebek, Deacon, Markham, Neil, Campion, Alexander. And then you've got Kirby, User, Wilson, and Lawson bringing up the rest of the field. And that's how it stacks up this evening. So holding on to where we are, keeping everything nice and neat. As always, there are always loads and loads of incidents, as always. So those will always be talked about. I'm pointing at the camera as if I'm actually looking at the camera. So we'll go across to the camera. As always, we only ever see it from one camera angle. All race wins are provisional. Pending any investigations or incidents. I always say that because I've got myself into a lot of trouble before, basically. So I need to be careful. We're going to go across to the drivers, and we're going to have a see if there is anybody in. There's only Jake Wilson at the minute. Let's pop into here. I'm trying to get into here, but it's not enjoying it. There we go. I finally joined it. Jake, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
What happened? First off, before we go any further, what happened? Because we didn't see it. All I saw was the car limping. Would be the way I would describe it. But we didn't see on stream anything else.
In the early stages of the race, I had a massive lockup behind Butcher into the chicane, the really tight chicane with the bumps. And that destroyed my front. And then I did it just a couple more times, and that punctured the left front.
Oh, it was a puncher.
I am not kidding.
I didn't even know the game could do punchers. I've learned something new today. That was a real shame, because obviously I would say two good solid results for a car that isn't suited to the track, and then obviously a puncture. But you know, that's how it is sometimes.
Yep.
Unfortunately, sometimes you.
I mean, I smashed the tyre up. I smashed the tyre up. It's not
as if
like
it's
they were
someone
at
else's
40%.
fault.
They were at 40%, to be honest. Like, it was just like the wheel was chattering, and that's all I had from the tyre. So it's not like it was down to the can. I was going to say down to the canvas, but I think I blew a hole in it. It's not like it went down to 0%. That's what I mean. It was like 40%, and it was fine. But
it just
I
went.
just smashed a hole in it. Yep. Yeah, I locked up behind. Yeah, I locked up at turn 1. I accepted 4th, and then I saw the puncture.
Yeah, it was very. I mean, we didn't see it, but yeah, and then obviously, then you keep running off the road, don't you? And then you get a DQ because you've run out of points.
I avoided that intentionally, and I got hit at the chicane by Campion, which was frustrating. But I'd rather have 10th than whatever I get. I don't know.
I don't know actually because it's a DQ. I'd have to check the rules to be honest. I know a lot of the rules, but I'd have to check them.
I'm guessing 0, but I'd rather have 11.
11 rather than 0.
But it's 0 points for a DNF.
There you go. It's a 0. But overall, in terms of going into today, it was always going to be tough. It's a car that's not really suited to the track. It's a very twisty, tight track in its makeup, and it's incredibly difficult to pass.
I'd still rather have this car than the Hyundai.
Well, there you go. So there's always a positive somewhere. There's always a positive somewhere. And you were in race 3 as well. Don't forget, in race 3, you were fighting for that that race victory as well.
After the first lockup, I had no confidence in the brakes because they just kept locking, and that's how I destroyed the tyres.
I'm trying to be positive here. I'm putting a positive spin on it.
So am I. I would have been more aggressive with Butcher had I had confidence in the brakes and not smashed up the tyres.
But it's very different. Yeah, it's one of those things, isn't it? I mean, that's racing. That's like racing in real life, though, isn't it? It happens, and you have to keep your chin up and move on. But
at least I didn't leave it out like 2 laps, losing 20 seconds a lap, like some team did in 2007.
Right. Right. Well, that's brilliant. I'm going to go across to Butcher, race winner in race 3. Yes, race winner in race 3. That looked like obviously Deeks did. I have not talked to Deeks yet, but it looked like he broke his wheels weren't pointing all in the right direction.
No, he he hit the curb through the second chicane, and went off, flying off in the. I'm not sure if he broke the car or not, but I'm judging by how far he fell. I'm guessing he wasn't quite pointing in the right direction. No. But I've not heard from him yet. I
mean, he held on to 5th. He did an absolutely stellar job of holding on to 5th because he had, I think Ashbourne was behind him for a while. I think it was still behind him. Norton was behind him. There was a gaggle of cars behind him in 5th. It was really, really difficult. And obviously, you looked like you had to work for it, with Jake challenging you, Stu challenging you, and T-Joke challenging you as well for the entire race. You weren't left alone.
Oh, no, I wasn't left alone. I've got to apologise to Stu, and he can put it in if he wants. Coming through the one that drops down the hill and then up the hill the other side through the blind crest on the right-hander, I had no idea Stu was alongside me, so I do have to apologise to him. I thought I went into the corner with Jake behind me, and then Jake was still behind me, and then all of a sudden I opened the corner up and there's a car alongside me. So I've got to apologise to Stu, and he'll probably put it in because it did sort of knock him out and knock him back to about 4th place, I think.
He finished 3rd in the end, I think. We did catch it on stream. But as I always say, as I say time and time again, we only ever see one viewpoint on stream, and it should always be submitted to the instant panel, as because terms and rules, isn't it? And that's the way it is. But overall, very struggle. I mean, very busy evening, I would say, that you've had in terms of racing. Are you glad to be rid of this track? Because. Or is it a case of it was fun, but I never want to go anywhere near this track again in my life?
You know what? It's a lovely track to drive. It's not a great track to race. If you're driving on your own, doing hot laps in it, it's a fantastic track to drive. But racing in it, no, it's not the nicest thing in the world.
But the thing is, though, you never know that until you race it, until you put cars around it and you have a look. Really, I mean, it's one of those. But I mean, from my perspective, it was exceptional. I mean, I enjoyed commentating on it. The racing was, I thought, pending any incidents as always, looked busy, and it looked like a real challenge for everybody as well. A real challenge for everybody.
Was, yeah, very challenging, yeah.
Which makes it exciting, I think, from that perspective. So, obviously, we've got the week break next coming up. Are you counting down the days till you can get rid of the Hyundai?
Well, I don't know. We'll see. It depends, like you say. If we go to a load of tracks next season that have got nice long straights, then no, I'll probably keep it. But
but at the moment, you're like, no.
At the moment, it's a no. But we'll see.
It's one of those odd things, though. I mean, it's like who are we talking? I can't remember. But the thing is, though, is that depending on what car you're driving, because the tracks always try to be different through the season, so it doesn't suit one particular type of car. But it's very tricky. I mean, that Seat is mighty. It's a good car. But we've got some other tracks coming up where it might. I don't know. I've not looked into that much detail. I know there's a whole spreadsheet chart thing that's done that measures all of this stuff. But no, very as always, race one winner, and as I always say, as I've said time and time again, race results are always provisional, because I'm not getting down that trap.
That one definitely will be.
I'm not getting down that trap again. Put it that way. I've already been down that rabbit hole once, and I'm not going down it again. So we'll leave it at that. I'm going to talk to Simon next, and then I'll go to Phil. Phil's joined us. He's Sober Stick, double race winner this time out. His internet didn't fail as well, but we'll get to Phil in a minute. We'll just go across to Simon, if you can hear me. Unless he's still on mute. You're on mute, Simon.
Sorry.
There we go. He's on mute. Are you doing the... So, in terms of tonight, obviously third race again looked a very, very busy race in the third race.
It's a tough track, and unless people make mistakes. I said it before. You're not going forwards really unless you're really aggressive or you're really quick. There were a couple of quick guys in the third race coming through behind me. I thought about battling a little bit, and I gave a little bit, but I knew there was no point trying to hold them back because I just end up hitting a sausage curb and putting it on its roof. So I kind of not hung back, but I didn't fight too hard, and I think there was a bit of a coming together, and I managed to steal my way through to fourth. I think they all overran into the chicane at one point, which kind of gifted me fourth again. So I think I had fourth places tonight, which is considering the 50 kilos is a good result. But it's down to practice. I put the practice in this week, knowing full well it was going to be a tough track. So no, it's a good night. Been a good night.
So in terms of the track itself, because obviously it's always going to be a talking point, BILSTERBERG in itself.
I agree. What Russ said. It's a great track for hot lapping. It's a real challenge. It's not great for racing because it's really, really tough to get alongside. And if you do, then it's a really, really risky overtake. So you've got to have the extra pace without any ballast, and then you've got a chance. But with the 50 kilos tonight, I didn't have that luxury. I had to play it safe to a large degree. I could battle a little bit, but really it was just waiting for people to make mistakes.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing, and I mean we were going to race this track. What season 2?
Yeah, we've been, didn't we?
So we were going to race in season 2, and obviously now season 4 further ahead. It's going to be a talking point. I mean, from an entertainment point of view, races 1 and 2 were fantastic. Races 3, and I think race 3 itself was affected because we had the shorter grid. because obviously the design of reversing 9 to 15 is designed on a grid of 20.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So
it's
with
pretty
only
much. It
14
was almost the
drivers,
whole field. Yeah.
it creates a different issue. So I suspect admin will be having a look at that between this race and the next race, because realistically I think it's something that would probably need to be addressed without causing a disadvantage, if you see what I mean.
So set the reverse grid based on how many
Yeah.
starters you're going to have.
Yeah.
And think about it. Yeah.
And think of it
That's
that
not
way.
a bad idea.
Just because tonight, I mean, race 3, I mean, I'll talk to you in a minute, Phil. I do apologise. Just talking about race 3 more broadly, was that it was a fantastic, it was exciting. But again, the track conditions caused some of the things. So, no doubt it'll be.
Phil and Barry were having a right ding dong battle around by me. I was just
Barry?
hoping. No, yeah.
Who's Barry?
Because Barry jumped.
Benny.
Norton.
Benny.
Oh, he's Benny. Sorry.
Yeah, he's not.
Apologies.
Don't do an Andy.
Sorry.
It's Benny.
Sorry.
Oh, it's Barry.
No, he's no. It was a good. I was watching a lot of it in my mirrors because they were all over each other, and they were both catching me at certain points on the lap as well, and I was just desperately hoping not to get caught up with anything and punt anybody off.
I think.
But it was good. It was good
because Benny wasn't there for races 1 and 2. I think we did miss. We had a great racing, but I think
he had the pace. He had the pace in practice.
Yeah, I think we missed that opportunity for a Lawson Benny battle in races 1 and 2. I think we missed that opportunity, but it is what it is. That's the way it is. At the end of the day, his computer didn't work. He fixed it for race 3, and that's how it works. You can't.
You gotta love computers.
You gotta do it that way. Go across to Phil. Phil, can you hear me?
I can, yeah.
Fantastic. Victory in finally a double race winner so far. Your internet's fixed.
Yeah, overdue.
only took a long time, but that's
18 months it's took to sort it out.
But like I said when we were talking about it before, for those of you that don't know that are on stream, Phil Soberstig, he's had problems. How long have you had problems with your internet? It's a long
18
time. Months. And yeah, you've got it fixed. To do with the upstreaming. I thought it'd be cabling. They never change the cabling because they just don't. But there we go.
No, they changed everything.
Oh, they actually did you get a new box as well? We've gone completely off the tangent here.
No, we've only just had a new hub. So, but they changed all the cabling and stuff. But it held out both nights this week. So, result for me. But obviously, race 3 wasn't the best. You guys in the stewards are going to be really busy.
Yeah, I mean that's what we were.
I'm not even picking out individual incidents. I'm just sending you the whole clip because there's that many where people turned in. The first lap, Champion, he let cars by because he was slow going into the first chicane, and then as I got there to go past him as well, just turned in like I wasn't there. There was a few people that did it.
As always, what I'll say, because obviously it's a live stream, is follow the incident procedure and submit it.
Yeah, I am doing it. I'm going to upload it to YouTube tomorrow and then just submit it.
Yeah, that's what it's there for. That's why, as always, we say live on stream if there's an incident like that, like we saw in race 3, which is why we we briefly talked about the overall discussion about race 3, which I know will be a wider discussion through the admin team. I do know that. But any instance, it's submitting them through the process because we don't want to go. I think it's in the rules and regulations. We don't want to delve into a community of finger pointing and that side of it. And that's just a general thing. As if you ever join the community, you'll see that.
I understand that.
But race 3, yes. I mean, yes, race 3. Scruffy. I'm gonna use the word scruffy.
Yeah,
would be the way
compared to what I expected from when I raced season 2, there was a lot of drivers that I didn't know, and some people just want to fight everything. There's some people that just want to fight every driver, every car, regardless of what position is, how much damage it's going to do to their own race, and sometimes it's a bit silly.
Yeah, I mean that's
Like Simon says, when there's a faster car coming through, then sometimes it's easier and quicker for your own race to just rather than fight with them every single time, just let them go for your sake of your own race. Let them go.
I think
So,
race 3 is like we talked on before. The thing about the race 3 reverse format is that it's currently designed for a 20-car grid, and with
I think a lot of people didn't turn up tonight because they were scared of the track.
no, so Poddy had internet problems. Luke had a flat tyre and then had to pick his missus up. Justin he's away with work. Papa Dim is away with work. And there was one or two as well that unfortunately have dropped out, but would have got us up to the 19 number. So then the drivers that are they're just less experienced would be the way I'd put it.
Yeah.
Less experience in that type of format wouldn't be at the front of the grid. They would be further down. So I know I briefly talked on it, and I know it will be discussed today. Because I don't think, from our perspective, looking as a broader, wider subject, I don't think it's the fault of the drivers. I think it's the fault of the way it was changed, and the track conditions. So that's why
because basically the guy that finished last in race 1 started first in race 3.
Yes.
I don't know how big the time spread was. I know I didn't get down to the times that me and Benny were running yesterday in quali.
145s you were in, I think. You were in
145 fours.
6s. I think Paul was a 146.
I rolled in from work at 20 to 8 tonight. So.
Just got on. All right, make the rest of us feel bad. Rolled in, Paul, 2 wins.
It always feels great when you've been practicing all week and Phil rocks up with 10 minutes to go and smashes you. That feels great. Thanks, Phil.
But race 3 aside, let's just
be honest. I have put the grind in the last couple of days on the track.
Yeah.
You have been on the server a lot, in all fairness.
But race 3 aside, let's just park race 3 for the minute, Phil, because obviously that will be one of those things that we could talk about for hours. So we'll just park that to the side. Races 1 and 2. Let's talk about races 1 and 2. You obviously
I was saving my tyres. I knew Stu would be as aggressive as he could be. Yeah, I knew he'd push because it's Stu. He just goes as fast as he can go all the time. So, and obviously a track like that, going as fast as you can go only does one thing, and that kills your tyres. And I looked after mine. I could run laps on the last lap as fast as I was running on the second lap. So I just kept mine in, and it was more about scoring points for me and Saws in the team championship than anything else. The first 2 races, I just drove within myself. I'd probably got another half a second, maybe a little bit more if it was really pushing. But me and Benny were running 45.9s last night in race, so there was definitely more pace. I just made sure that I got to the finish both races. I didn't want to clatter that chicane.
Yes, because I think in practice, Neil rolled it on it.
Yeah, it's a race record. I did it last night in the second race when me and Benny were practicing.
Everybody's done it at some point this week.
I think, who put the GIF up of Poddy rolling it?
I scratched a lap in quali there. I was on for a 44 on my very first lap. My first sector was a 32.6. And I know the sector times to run a 44, and I just couldn't help myself but push, and I wrecked it at the chicane and rolled it. So
because you didn't get a pole lap for quite a while, if I remember correctly. It was getting to the point where I was like, he actually just needs to put a lap in.
Yeah, even me and Saw said the same. I just need to do a banker lap, and then the lap that I was up on the end, it wasn't going to be a 44, a low 45, but again, I couldn't put it all together. But I just put that down to the fact that I'd not long been in.
Right. But again,
I can't come in and just go that fast straight away. I need a bit of track time nowadays. Too old.
But again, first two solid races in terms of it. Good points haul as well. There's
Yeah.
40 points that's added to the grand total, but that's 40 points because you're really chasing. Because obviously, missed a proportion of the start as well, with the internet as well, challenges
Yeah.
that you've had, is that really it's that team championship that you're going for. And so it's a good haul of points because you're chasing down Team Hardy Racing, which is Simon and Aaron. But again, it can't detract away from the fact that you've 2 race victories. And pushing as well. So we've got the week break now. I need to publish it. There's a week break because I'm not here next week, so we're having a week off, and then we're going to run into the last 3 of the season. Again, is it a case of because at your current pace? I've spoken to Norton about this before. Norton's fast, but he doesn't have consistency, and he knows this. I've actually told him. So he can say what he wants, but he knows I've told him. He misses that. He lacks that consistency. Is it going to be? Do you get a feeling it'll be you and him not trading places, but chasing each other for the rest of the season? Or are you just like, I just need to get as many points as I can because I've got to win that team. I want the team championship and Shaw's. I want to take as many points as I can away from Aaron and Neil for the drivers' championship.
I'm going in with it to win as many race 1 and 2 as I can, and in race 3 I'm going to help Soars as much as I can. If I can get behind him and push him along and bump draft him around the track, then I will.
I think that's the best.
But at the same time, if I can get by and I can score more points, I can finish higher up the road.
You can do that as well.
I'll also do that too.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. It becomes that point.
We'll work it. We'll very much work it between us, like me and Cluffy did in season 2.
Yes, yeah.
We raced purely for a team result all season. So, well, we didn't. We all raced for the drivers until the last week, and that's when me and Cluffy really raced as a team properly. But we did Zandvoort. Well, you seen what happened when we raced as a team at Zandvoort.
Yeah.
When I pulled him round with full ballast and I had none. For the 1-2.
I mean, that's the thing though. But by Zandvoort, it was a bit late. It's like you're at that point where you go, we need to push it and keep going. But because
I think the one thing that I've got that will help with me and Soars is we race a lot on the rank lobbies. We race a lot with each other. I know how he drives and he knows how I drive, so I can follow him and I know he's not going to do anything stupid or irrational. So I can follow him without really losing any lap time.
I mean, that's the key, isn't it? It's all about that consistent pace at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's all about consistent pace and lap times. And you'll have probably noticed, Simon will probably kill me, that the server that we run, you can pull files off it that gives you information on the laps and the drivers.
Yeah.
So on the Discord...
I've never been there long enough to stay.
Well, really well done on your race 1 and your race 2 victories tonight. Obviously, race 3 will be one of those things that will be, as I said, it's one of those things that will just park for now. While
I advise that people practice for next week because the track for next week is just as hard.
Yes, yeah. Well, I don't know. I've not raced it.
It is just as hard. Well, the next round is just as hard, if not harder, because it's slower speed.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's a lot slower.
It's very twisty. Very, very twisty. It's just constant corners for 2/3 of the lap, then it's just 2 straights.
Oh. But then, here we go. That's going to be exciting, isn't it?
To be fair, the second last straight is very long, so you might get like a last corner pass for the win, which you can get excited about.
I get excited about everything. I wouldn't worry about that. If there was a snail crossing the track, I'd be excited.
All second and third gear.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's gonna. I really.
I mean, it's all. Is it, no, it's good.
There we go. Right, I'm gonna leave it there because it's 10 o'clock, and we're obviously getting towards the end. So thank you.
Yeah, I'm gonna go bed. I've got to be up at 5.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, Yokohama are a disgrace, to be honest. I just don't want to talk about Yokohama again. Not Yokohama, Goodyear.
Right, we're moving on. So thank you everybody. Thanks for joining us, Phil, Simon, and Jake, and obviously to Russ as well, who joined us earlier, and Aaron before that as well. Thank you, gentlemen. Enjoy the rest of your evenings, and no doubt I will talk to you on the chats.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. Cheers.
Well,
Well,
Bye.
no,
post
no,
an
no.
image.
And there we go. As always, as we always say, there was many talking points through the evening, and always many talking points about different things. And we only ever get one view on that, so we always say, please, 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 keep that open mind, because that's what the incident panel is for. Right, we're not here next week. We've got a break, and then we're back the following week. So keep an eye on our YouTube and our Facebook, and come and join us on Discord. So yeah, thank you and good night.